Hi, Christa here, and you and I have an appointment. This is our space to pause, reflect, and talk about what is really truly important in leadership awareness, connection, and communication. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Let's breathe and let's talk. Today we're talking about self-leadership before team leadership. Now, you can't lead others until you've let yourself home. What does that mean? Leading myself home means I step out of performance and I really get into presence with myself. I place inside myself the importance to really connect with myself first. You know, conflict, internal conflict, really leaks. And when we step into a leadership position, whatever internal conflict you have, whatever unresolved frustrations you have, whatever beliefs you hold that is not constructive for yourself or for others is going to leak through your leadership style. We need to start with ourselves first before we can lead others. So how do I lead myself home? What does it really mean? It's actually really connecting with who you truly are. Now, there's this conversation I had with my father years ago when I started out. And one of the things that really fascinated me was the indoctrination of performance and expectations that society put on ourselves. And a 2-year-old can very easily be very difficult because they throw tantrums. They are very clear on what they want and how they want it and when they want it. They're actually very connected to themselves. Yes, the regulation of how to deal with it in terms of connection is not quite there yet, but that made me think. We are so often programmed and flooded with expectations externally that we start disconnecting from what we truly feel, and we bring that into our adulthood. It really seeps through in how we interact and connect with people. So we need to, as adults, as leaders, as team players, as relational beings, step back and connect with ourselves. Move away from performance and really ask, how does it align with my values? Who am I? What do I think about? What do I feel? What do I bring in? And the more I get that resolved, get healed, you will authentically, it will start shining through. I love talking about the difference between status power and personal power. Now, what does that mean? Status power is usually titles. We have a position, we have a leadership position, and because I am the leader, because I am in this position, I dictate to others. People really resist against that. When we talk about personal power, it's when, what we were talking just now about, healing yourself, stepping into yourself, really embodying it. And the more I have calmness within myself, the more clarity I have, the more aligned I feel, I can then step into my position of authority. But I come in with that humanness, the real vulnerability with responsibility, that accountability. And that's where people feel seen, that's where people feel heard, that's where people feel acknowledged. And that's how we start leading ourselves first before we start leading teams. Powerful. So what are things we can do? I want you to try the 90-second breathing ritual. Before you react, before you respond, before you say something, breathe. And really ask, what am I hearing? What am I seeing? And the more we do that, we will have clarity of how we can interact and really meet the people so that I can lead them into where they need to go. The second thing we need to do is when we go home and after a full day of work, It's so important to connect with our partners. And how do we do that? Have that 10-minute check-in with one another. And that 10-minute, what we do is 5 minutes the one talks, and the other 5 minutes the other one talk their side of the story. No fixing. Why do we do that? It helps us to connect with ourselves, really become truly aware of what we're going through, healing ourselves. And the more we do that, the calmer we become, more clarity we have, and the easier it is to step in from a place of self-leadership. Lead by example, and then into team leadership. Christa here. Thank you for being at our appointment. Please like, subscribe, push the notification bell, and if this topic really resonated with you, share it with someone. If there's any topics you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below. Looking forward to seeing you at our next appointment.